All right. Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden, and we're going to show you around the garden.
Yep, it's the beginning of February. This is going to be our first garden tour of 2026, so let's get to it. So guys, it's the beginning of February. We have bulbs coming up. Maybe you do too, but if you're in like the Midwest in this last couple weeks, the Midwest or even the East Coast, you guys are getting frozen out. So you're getting snow, you're getting ice, you're probably not seeing a lot of bulbs. Here it's been really mild. We planted this planter with companion planting in mind for our tulips because we wanted to keep the critters away from the tulips.
Because we have tons of squirrels.
Yeah, it's usually the squirrels and the trees around here. They live up there, they come down, they have a little snack, and then they leave. Well, we companion planted this with daffodils, hyacinth, and I think alliums too. And so they're all in here, they're all coming up. Everything's looking great. Nothing looks like it's been dug up or eaten or damaged. So it is working, and it's really cool to see.
I'm so glad. Here, we're just going to come in a little closer and check that out again.
Sure.
Those hyacinths are so beefy. Look at those.
If you want to go check this out, you can do this right now, get this set up, and even into probably March or April if you want to do the companion planting, depending on where you are with these bulbs. We made a video about this last fall for Eden Brothers. We'll pin that somewhere up above, down below in the description for you if you want to go watch that.
So right behind the container we just talked about, we wanted to show you a couple, well, maybe these 3 containers back here, which these are all containers by Crescent Garden, which we've been using for a year.
And the bulbs are the Crescent Garden. That's a
right.
double walled.
Now this container we've actually had for years. This is a rim container, which is self-watering. We've had this Eclipse hydrangea in here for a couple years now.
I think this will be its 3rd year coming up.
There's actually 2 hydrangeas in here. I totally forgot. We need to maybe move one of those out, but we'll get to that. What we wanted to show you is this petunia here, which has overwintered for like 2 years now. This is insane. This was something that we grew, that Proven Winter sent us like in 24, I believe, right? The summer of 24.
Yes.
It's a mini Vista plum vein, and it was brand new last year, and it just keeps going and going. It loves this location. So,
and to be clear, we trialed it basically out here in 2024, and then they released it officially last year.
So with that, then we've got over here, we have a canna lily that was green until about 2 weeks ago. It's just finally starting to like die back. So how crazy that lasted that long, into January.
It's been a mild winter around here, guys.
Really mild. So traveling this way, if I can navigate over here, we have this container, which this alyssum is still growing and just thriving. I mean, it needs to be cut back, but look how pretty that is still right now. Mm-hmm. That has been growing since last summer when we planted it. There's another petunia in here, and I believe this is bubblegum supertunia, I think. I'd have to look back at pictures. I can't even remember which one that was. And then we have a perennial that's, just dormant right now. This is pink sparkler birch leaf spirea from First Edition Shrubs and Trees. So really looking forward to seeing that in bloom again this late spring.
It was a full planter last year. Everything did really well in there, as you can see. It really filled in.
It really did. And we have an angel face angelonia in here too, which we could probably pull out.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to leave it for right now. It's possible it overwintered, so we'll see.
Could have came back.
It might have, and then a whole just assortment of things in front of me here.
All right, guys, we're in the Dahlia area, the smart pot dahlia. You can see all the smart pot stuff around. We came through here and got the dahlias literally out of the ground right when the rains really started coming in. We got them out, we washed them off. We still got to wash a couple more off, but you can see everything's kind of in flux around here. It looks completely different than it did over the summer. And so also we've had these wild nasturtiums. They keep coming back. We call them wild, but they keep coming back year after year. Well, they finally died back. These have been out here and they're just thick.
Looks really beautiful.
And so, we need to come through here and get them all cleaned up, but they reseed themselves. So it's really fun. Pretty sure they're going to keep coming back this year in these areas, and are probably going to spread out even more throughout the whole area. So it's really cool, but just wanted to show you the Dahlia area and what it looks like right now. Another area that we wanted to show you that we had a lot of fun planting last year because we hadn't planted this yet is this whole area right here where we've got our sumo petunias. These are really cool from Centauri Flowers. We made a whole video about this, the Centauri petunias and the sumos, and it was just beautiful. And then, so we planted these last year. There's only 2 actual plants right here for the petunias, which is really cool. Also last year, we had right in this area a whole bunch of zinnias. And so they're obviously they're gone. And then we did plant over here these glads, and they're finally starting to die back and go dormant. And so we're gonna have to get all this cleaned up. We might actually, they did so well over here, we might have to actually thin these out. They're getting a little too thick. Now, we've made a lot of videos about bulbs over the last couple of years, and in general, when the bulbs get too thick, when they're growing, there's too many growing in one area, they start to get too clustered together, and they have trouble actually flowering or setting flower, and they just get stressed out. So it's good to always kind of thin them out. And so we planted these fairly close together, now looking at this from last year. And so we will have to thin these out to make sure that they keep coming back and they keep flowering, because we want to enjoy those flowers. But before we planted this last year, this was completely all pretty much open ground. There wasn't even anything really here. And we planted here with some annuals before and some tomato plants, but nothing perennial, nothing that would literally come back. And now we have that here. And this is really cool. And this isn't even our yard. This is Allison's mom's yard. And so she gets to enjoy these too.
Well, and not to mention, we are going to be adding some new glads this year that we're going to try out.
Yeah.
So those could go over here on the left.
Yeah.
Or to the left of the screen, or somewhere else, maybe containers.
Because we had a bunch of more zinnias over here last year, kind of a patch over there, and then a line right here with these petunias. Yeah, we could definitely put some more glads over here, though, and then just kind of have just this swath of glads. That'd be beautiful.
I think that would be so beautiful. You can't have too many.
Nope.
So I love that idea. So we thought we'd show you and make a stop here with, if you guys remember last year, we grew all these Sonetti Paracallis plants from Suntory. There's still a little bit of color going on. We couldn't believe how cold hardy these were leading into midwinter. Now they've kind of like finally had a little bit of a cold snap. We're going to eventually cut these back before spring and let them, regrow. But we wanted to stop here and show you this is magenta bicolor, and then the others are over here. And then we had, I think, 2 or 3 plants in here. So again, not much to look at right now, but they will be. Then up here we've got, in our crescent garden container, we've got more Sonettis, and we also added straw flowers from Suntory. This one is still thriving.
Yeah, we added all that in this past fall. And we made a separate video for that. If you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out.
Look how beautiful that is. So I'm kind of thinking, and I don't know how Sean will feel about this, but I'm thinking that we either take all of these out and redo this planter for like spring, summer, or at least just take out the straw flowers and kind of redesign it. So
I'm open to whatever.
Lots of options, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see stay tuned for how that unfolds, because lots of possibilities. So here's another area of the garden that we're actually using a ground bed that my mom was able to give us space for. And last March, not quite a year ago, we divided and transplanted all of these bearded iris, which are in the front. And there's actually new ones popping up everywhere. They're doing really well, and they were beautiful last year. So it'll be really fun to see those in bloom, probably this May, maybe late April. Then behind that, we have a row of glads, and those also did well. So everything back here is still pretty green or new growth with some of the irises. But this has been fun. Like Sean said, we might need to spread out some of these glads a little bit more, because they are kind of crowded.
I think right now what we need to do is leave the irises alone, because they can get a lot thicker. They can get a lot more denser before we need to transplant them, and they'll still be healthy.
Oh, good call.
So we could probably leave them in there and leave them alone and not do anything to them for at least another year or two. So guys, wanted to show you our perennial wildflower patches. Basically, we replanted one this past fall over here, but we've had this one now. This will be its second year, and it's doing really well, and you can see how much it's grown up. Now, last year, all we really had was just kind of a patch and a mishmash of a bunch of different green leaves and different plants out here. But what really came through in this wildflower patch last year, in its first year, was the candy tuft. And it was like this tall. It was amazing how beautiful and how well it did. And you can see everything else in this patch is really thriving. Now this year, I can really make out the daisies. I think we've got some Shasta daisies kind of poking through here. And, it's just really fun to see. I think there's also maybe a dianthus that's really starting to come through. and the candy tuft is also making its way through again. This is going to be so beautiful to show you guys, but it's just kind of keeping you updated on how things are going here and how things are looking. This is really fun, and I'm actually excited to see how well this is doing.
So next stop is in our little shade garden kind of corner here. We've got some fun things going on here, and it's always fun to see all these foliage plants, but we'll show you those in a minute. Look at our beautiful Lenten roses. So gorgeous. Let's see, this darker one is Ice and Roses Red. Beautiful. And this light, beautiful pink one over here. Sean, do you remember the name of that one?
I do not, but I really like it.
And I don't see a tag right off the top. So anyway,
beautiful.
We'll figure that out at some point. But beautiful. I know, love hellebores. There's a lot of other interesting things going on. Let me get out of the way. This beautiful bright plant back here, we love this plant. It totally brightens up this area. This is called Banana Peel by First Edition Shrubs and Trees. It's a small anise tree. Or is it anise or anise?
I think it's anise.
I always say that wrong. Like licorice, right? Licorice smell. It actually does. It is fragrant. Look at that color though. That
Beautiful.
chartreuse. I love that in the corner. Right next to it, we had a beautiful display in this container. This is an agave container by Crescent Garden. And right now we have an acanthus plant that we had a little section that broke off from our main plant. We replanted it, and it's bigger than the other one now, I think.
Love these big leaves. Just beautiful.
I do
so
too.
Tropical looking, but it really likes it here in our weather, in our region.
I love it. I'm really hoping that it flowers this year. We've only had one that flowered. We had some beautiful begonias under there over the summer, so that was fun. So a lot of other kind of holdovers from the summer, including some indoor plants over here with this Tradescantia, which we kind of forgot to remove.
Otherwise known as Wandering Jew, and you can see it is wandering all over the place.
This one did too. I thought we had 3 of them. Maybe.
Which one did you say?
There's one right here.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. They wandered.
The other ones. And then a couple little smaller hellebores and different things. So
totally.
Kind of fun to see this area. And then we've got hostas and whatnot that are obviously not visible.
So guys, this is the rest of the garden. There's not a whole heck of a lot else going on out here. Everything's pretty much just dormant. We need to do a lot of cutting back. We need to dig some things up, move some stuff. Yeah, it's really fun though to see the garden kind of like this, to be dormant, and it's not so full. We can actually see around. If you remember last year, and maybe you'll see this on the screen there, it was hard to move through these paths. It was almost too overgrown. Things were too packed in. So right now it's really nice to have it so open, and we can actually move around and do a lot of different things.
Well, that's a wrap for now. There's not a lot of exciting things to see in a dormant garden, right?
Well, it's February,
It's February.
And again, it's been a really mild winter here up until this point. We don't know if in the next couple of weeks or months we're going to actually get some really cold temperatures here below freezing or at freezing. We've only had maybe a week like total of those types of temperatures so far, which is unusual for us.
It really is. I know, it's kind of like eerie, but we'll see what happens, and we're ready for anything, right?
Yep. So with all that, thanks for being here with us. It was fun to show you around the garden, what's going on. Make sure to hit that like button. Definitely subscribe to our channel because we have a lot more videos we're planning on coming up here very soon. And leave us a comment down below and tell us what's going on in your garden.
Definitely. And you know what? Don't forget to join us live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
Yep.
So we would love to see you there. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.